Okay, so let's have a look at the computational thinking. So the idea of this one was to teach computational thinking, but in the context of a story and different activities that go with the story. And it is centered around, each one is centered around a different environmental factor. So this one is about recycling for the older grades, and then the younger grades one is the search for solar power. So each one has got a little introduction to computational thinking. So it's got like a little pre-story that sort of goes through each of the four parts of computational thinking. So the first one, in the search for solar power, it's Sam and Samira get healthy. So they're introduced to the siblings, Sam and Samira, and their family, and they're talking about healthy eating. So they're talking about the different food groups over here. And then the first activity has to do with decomposition. So here it's a little bit of an explanation about decomposition. And then learners will have to take the food pyramid and break it up into what foods belong in each part of the food pyramid. This is already something that teachers use in the it's already something that they do in life skills in the foundation phase. I definitely know they do it in grade 3, but they talk about the food pyramid and they have to identify different foods. So they can either do this by drawing the foods, or they can cut pictures out of magazines. They can do this as an individual activity or as a class activity where they create a big food pyramid between all the learners. So it's all about decomposing, taking the food groups and breaking it up into the particular foods that are associated with those food groups. Then the story carries on and they talk about how to keep healthy. So they're talking about the food pyramid and how it relates to the food groups, and how you choose from different food groups in order to be healthy. So the next activity has to do with abstraction. So taking out important information. So what they're going to do here is they are going to look at this plan, this food plan for the week, and they are going to use different colors to take out the different food groups in this plan. So they have to underline carbohydrates in red, fruits and vegetables in green, dairy in blue, proteins in brown, and fats and sugars in pink. They can use highlighters or cokies for this. And again, it can be done as an individual activity, or it can be done as a whole class activity where they are identifying the different parts. Um, then it goes on to talking about the food groups and how much food, or how much of each food group they eat each day. And Samira points out that she doesn't eat some of the foods. So then they're talking about substituting, so planning a specific menu, and deciding on what the pattern is of what food groups they choose each day. So now what they're going to do is they're going to have a look at the meal plan that where they circled things in activity 2, and they're going to work out what food groups are chosen in different times of the day. So basically, there are two patterns that occur over here. So then they're going to identify the different things. For example, here in breakfast, if I look over here, so this is grains, cornflakes are counted as grains. There's fats and sugars, there's dairy, and there's vegetable. So over here, then I would identify, okay, I'm going to choose something from carbohydrates, I'm going to choose something from dairy, I'm going to choose something from fruit and vegetables, and something from fats and sugar. So it's like one portion of each. And then for the snack over here, so on this day, they're having for their first snack, they're having carbohydrates over there, and the second one, they're having protein and vegetables. Again, they're having carbohydrates and fats and sugars, and they're having vegetables and protein. So the snack differs on the two different day patterns. So snack here, they would write for day one pattern, it would be carbohydrates, fats, and oils. And in the day two pattern for their mid morning snack, they're going to have vegetables and proteins. So they basically just going to plan out like what sort of food groups they choose for each part of the day. Now they're going to use that pattern to plan out their own meals using the specific foods that they eat. So they're going to, you can talk to learners about, different people prefer different types of foods, and maybe you're allergic to something, or maybe you don't eat certain fruits and vegetables. And then they're going to use the pattern that they created, that they found, to create an algorithm. So a set of instructions for what they can eat each day. So this is like plan, here's breakfast and there's snacks, so they can plan out, learners can plan out using the foods that they eat to plan what carbohydrate they're going to have in the morning, what sort of carbohydrates they're going to have, what fats and oils, what protein, and what fruit and veg. And in doing that, they can plan out a healthy meal system for the day. So that's the introduction. It's got all four of computational thinking. It's got decomposition, it's got abstraction, it's got pattern recognition, and it's got algorithms. So in this example, each of the four is specifically introduced, whereas in the rest of the story, it's various computational thinking skills that are sort of grouped together in different problems.